Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another shoutcast for you. We are shoutcasting Viggy 221's Go Battle League set, and they are running not really a unique team. I mean, we see Meganium as the lead, Alolan Marowak, and Azumel. I'm assuming that Azumel is probably the safe switch. This Azumel is packing Ice Punch and Hydro Pump, so no play rough on the Azumel, totally fine. So let's see how this plays out. So the Azumel is going for that Ice Beam. Meganium going to take it because it can and farm down before another Ice Punch comes to that Alolan, not to that Azumel, excuse me. And then in comes Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak correctly shielding that Earthquake, so nice shield coming in from that Alolan Marowak. In comes an opposing Alolan Marowak. This Marowak going to go for the Bone Club. That is going to get the shield, not wanting to take the Shadow Ball. Out comes the Bone Club. Another shield comes out, but the opponent is still up a shield. So is he going to pick up that final shield with this Bone Club? Yes, he is. And then out comes Meganium. Meganium immediately going to go ahead and go for Frenzy Plant. Not charging up for the Earthquake. Not going for the Earthquake. It's going to be difficult to get rid of that Alolan Marowak on the opponent's end. But Abomasnow comes in going for Weather Ball that will knock out the Meganium. And in comes this Alolan Marowak. Oh, you know what? This Alolan Marowak could probably just farm down, right? It could take these Weather Balls, it could take Energy Ball, and it's going to have a Shadow Ball for the opposing Alolan Marowak. It's going to be able to take this attack. It is a Weather Ball. It's low, but can it get off that Shadow Ball? Can it win CMP? It can. Going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. So really well played, saving that, able to farm down that Abomasnow. Luckily, Abomasnow was in the back, but actually able to win that one. So really, really well played. Still running Fire Spin on the Alolan Marowak, no Hex variant. So next up we have the Meganium versus Lapras. Meganium is going to get off a Frenzy Plant. Will it go shielded? Nope. So it's going to go unshielded and then farm down the Lapras. So great position. In comes a beautiful shiny Primeape. This Meganium is going to get off a Frenzy Plant. That is going to be shielded. Primeape on the squishier end, right? So it's going to go ahead and go for the Night Slash. Trying to knock out this Meganium. It's eventually able to do so. In comes Alolan Marowak and then switches to catch the Night Slash. Beautiful switch coming out, able to absorb that Night Slash with the Azumel. Out comes Alolan Raichu, so very interesting. I haven't fought one this season yet. I don't think it was popular in previous seasons, but I think now with Galarian Stunfisk, Alolan Raichu might not be the most common thing nowadays, but I could still be good. Anyway, nonetheless, this Marowak is going to shield up the Wild Charge. That would have done a tremendous amount, and it does farm down the Raichu. In comes that Primeape, going to be hit with a Bone Club. Bone Club being a weak move, but again, you know, all that's left is Primeape. It is a squishy Pokemon, so it's good. It would have been enough to take out the Primeape after the Fire Spin damage. Going to shield that and then get to another Bone Club, which will be enough to knock out the Primeape and win that game. So really well played with the Alolan Marowak. One of the hot picks for this season, right? Alolan Marowak. Definitely a really solid Pokemon. Okay, so next up, it's going to be a Bastiodon on the opponent's side. So how is this going to play out? Let's see. Going to go ahead and charge up for the Earthquake and go for the bait. Will the opponent shield? No, they're not going to shield. They're going to call the Frenzy Plant. So nice, no shield coming in from the Bastiodon. Out comes that Flamethrower. Meganium definitely going to go ahead and shield that. Now, will we see an Earthquake? Will we see a Frenzy? We're going to see another Frenzy Plant. The opponent may consider shielding if they want to try and win Switch. They do shield. Another Frenzy Plant coming out to hit this Bastiodon. Probably no shield. No shield. So this Bastiodon going to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower, but Meganium will shield. Meganium should be able to win Switch at this point in time. Going to try and farm it down, maybe? Oh no, it was too risky. Wasn't able to farm it down, so we'll go for the Frenzy Plant. So in comes Azumel. Oh, another Frenzy Plant. Wow, very interesting to bring Azumel. I guess that Azumel wants to try and farm down with Bubble. So forcing the last shield, in comes his own Azumel, but unfortunately this Azumel does not have Play Rough. The opponent's has Play Rough, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. Still has an Alolan Marowak in the back, even though that is obviously not going to do great against the Azumel. Although they both switch. Oh, Shadow Victreebel into an Alolan Marowak. So this is not good for the Victreebel. Victreebel going to go ahead and go for the charge attack. But this Marowak should be able to farm. Oh, that was super close. I think the opponent had one of that, you know, a little bit of lag, you know, after the charge move is thrown. It happens. It's unfortunate, but I think it happens sometimes. In comes Azumel, but this Azumel is going to be able to knock out the opposing Azumel at this point in time. It could just bubble down, right? go for the Ice Beam as well, which is what he's doing, but that's totally fine. This Ice Beam is going to knock out the shiny Azumarill and able to win that game, so really well played. So let's jump into the next game. I don't know how many games are in this battle. I don't know how the battles go, but we have a Meganium versus an Umbreon, and this is going to be an interesting matchup. I believe Umbreon generally wins this, but I don't know on in the 2 shield, 1 shield. I'm not too familiar. I've had this matchup before. But, okay, going for foul play. So this Meganium is going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant, trying to apply a lot of pressure. Umbreon not going to shield. Looks like Umbreon gets to the foul play. Yeah, that foul play would have been enough to knock out the Meganium. So Meganium does shield, and it looks like Meganium does win in the 1 shield. Would have lost in the 0 shield though. Going to go ahead and go for Earthquake. Now that actually does a decent amount to Skarmory, even though Skarmory does resist it. Out comes Alolan Marowak, a charge attack coming through, gonna be that Sky attack. Out comes Lantern. Ooh, excellent answer. Well, pretty good answer. I mean, these Bone Clubs are super effective, right? But again, Bone Club is a weak move, so it's not going to do much. Hydro Cannon would be enough to knock it out. Actually, a Thunderbolt at that range would be enough. So just going for the Thunderbolt. No need to bait at that point with the Lantern. So we're going to go ahead and shield that Bone Club. Maybe he thought it was a Shadow Ball. Another Bone Club coming out, wanting to get off damage against the Lantern. Get it as low as possible, but the other shield comes out. Looks like that Lantern is trying to farm down. Oh, Skarmory and Meganium switch at the same time. What? I don't know what just... Oh, I don't know what just happened there. That confused me. For a second I saw Meganium. I guess Meganium came in and then fainted immediately from a fast attack. I'm not really too sure. That confused me. But either way, this Azumarill is out fighting the Skarmory now. Going to undercharge the Ice Beam. Nice undercharge, but that's going to allow the Skarmory to get off a charge attack. Oh, does that matter? Let's see. Going to go ahead and farm down the Skarmory. And in comes Lantern. Does this Hydro Pump knock out? How low is that Lantern? I don't remember. Oh, it does not knock it out, and the Lantern gets off the charge attack. So very nice attempt at undercharging. You almost won it. It came so close. Without the undercharge, that Lantern would have gotten to the Thunderbolt anyway immediately and knocked out the Azumarill. So it was a very beautiful attempt, but wasn't able to work out. But really well played. So now we have an Alolan Raichu versus a Meganium, and of course Meganium is resisting these electric attacks. So unless if it has Psychic, which it might have Psychic, it's not really going to do anything because Grass Knot is also resisted. Out comes that Grotto. So Grotto, okay, going to be met with an Alolan Marowak. So this Grotto going to go for Body Slam. Marowak shielding that up. I wonder what else that Grotto could get. Could it get like a ground attack? Because I'm really surprised the shield came out for the Body Slam. But maybe it could get like another attack. I don't know. Maybe it gets Earth Power. I have no idea what else it gets. But in comes Obstagoon. Obstagoon going to be hit with multiple Bone Clubs. Yeah, Shadow Ball is going to be heavily resisted, right? So definitely going to be able to go for those Bone Clubs. Out comes Azumarill. Okay, in comes Alolan Raichu to throw the electric attack. Is it going to be Thunder Punch? It is going to be Thunder Punch. Azumarill shields, switching into Meganium. Meganium is going to go ahead and go for that Frenzy Plant. This should be enough to knock out, but the Alolan Raichu does decide to shield. Another charge attack coming through, another Frenzy Plant. This should go unshielded because there's no shields left in the game. Out comes this Obstagoon. Obstagoon going to go ahead and go for the charge attack. Does that knock it out? Yeah, it knocks it out. But Azumarill is not going to be knocked out. Even a Gunk Shot from Obstagoon wouldn't be enough to knock out an Azumarill at full health, right? So really well played. Let's jump into the next game. It's going to be Shiny Meganium versus Sudowoodo. Okay, Sudowoodo, very interesting. Catacomb reminder, I don't know. But in comes Ludicolo. Is this an Auto-Rec team from the opponent? I don't know. Sometimes players go in with Auto-Rec teams, just whatever's recommended. I don't know if that's the case or not. Yeah, very interesting to see Ludicolo, Beedrill, and Sudowoodo, none of which are really common. I mean, I see Beedrill occasionally. I guess Ludicolo maybe, but certainly not Sudowoodo. But I don't really know, honestly. But this Marowak going to go ahead and go for the Bone Club. And Beedrill will shield it up. Who knows? Maybe the opponent's just having fun with it, just going in with whatever they want. Totally fine. So Marowak will shield that drill run. In comes Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo is going to be hit with this Bone Club. Super effective, not doing too much. Sudowoodo is going to go ahead and probably go for a Rock Throw. No, going to go for an Earthquake or Rock Slide, whatever attack it has. In comes Meganium. Meganium going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant. This will be enough to pick up the knockout on Sudowoodo. In comes Beedrill. Out comes Azumarill. Poison Jabs definitely adding up, but it's not really going to matter. That Beedrill probably doesn't have Sludge Bomb, and does it? It did have a shield. This Beedrill is going to go ahead and go for a charge attack. It's probably going to be Drill Run. Yeah, it probably has like Fell Stinger or X Scissor. Probably X Scissor, but able to win that. So really well played. On both players' ends, you know, the opponent did really well with that team as well. So we have the Mcgenian versus Azumarill. This is a very common lead. We see it a lot. So, okay, Mcgenian going to go ahead and get off this Frenzy Plant. Going to be super effective. Azumarill not wanting to take any damage. Another Frenzy Plant coming out. That Azumarill is definitely charging up a lot of energy. Going to shield. So down 2 shields. Out comes the Ice Beam. Meganium is going to go ahead and shield this. We're probably going to see multiple Ice Beams. It's actually a play rough. So obviously that Azumarill does not have Ice Beam. It has Hydro Pump, so this Earthquake going to do a tremendous amount to that Marowak, actually not finishing it. I was actually surprised. I thought that was going to knock it out, but not quite. Fire Blast, okay, so that's a Hex variant. I just noticed that's not a Fire Spin Alolan Marowak, so we have seen that on Zionic's channel. So definitely really powerful Pokemon. In comes Victini, another Fire type. Wow, that opponent really does not like the double grass line from Caleb Pang, right? But Victini goes down to a grass type, ironically. Okay, so Fire Fang Mawile. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Shadow Fire Fang Mawile. In comes Alolan Marowak. Out comes Azumarill. So this is going to be a difficult uphill battle. So going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. So this Shadow Ball going to be neutral. It does a good amount of damage, just needs to land one more. A charge attack coming through. Is it going to be the Hydro Pump? It is going to be a play rough. Alolan Marowak does resist that, but bubbles are adding up. Able to get to another Shadow Ball. Will this go shielded from the opponent? Yep, the opponent is going to go ahead and shield that, knocking out the Alolan Marowak. In comes Meganium. You got to watch out for the Ice Beam. You got to respect it, right? It's actually going to be a play rough, and this Meganium is going to go ahead and charge up a lot of extra energy. In fact, it's actually trying to knock it out. Not going to shield this. It's only a play rough. Obviously, they saw the play rough earlier, so they assumed that Azumarill did not have Ice Beam. Going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant against this Mawile. Going to be able to go for another one because they got back-to-back Frenzy Plants. Excuse me. Doing a lot of damage, honestly, but able to catch the charge attack. Most likely Power Punch, yep. So Azumarill able to catch it. In comes Shadow Hypno. So this Shadow Hypno going to be met with a Hydro Pump. Going to go ahead and shield this. This Hydro Pump is going to do a lot of damage. In fact, it's actually it's going to knock it out, right? I'm pretty sure it's going to knock it out. Yeah, definitely knocks out that Shadow Hypno. In comes that Shadow Mawile, going to be hit with an Ice Beam. So this Ice Beam going to do a lot of damage. In fact, it's going to knock out the Mawile, and that's going to be a win. So really well played. So I guess we have more than 5 battles in this game. Okay, so this is absolutely terrible that Meganium has to switch into the Marowak. Out comes that Whiscash. Still a bad situation because Mud Bombs are super effective. So it's going to do a lot. You just need 2 Mud Bombs, right, to knock out the Marowak. Out comes the Shadow Ball. The opponent could shield. They don't have to. They do decide to shield. So it looks like this Whiscash going to go ahead and farm up extra energy. Probably no shield coming out from the opponent. Nope. Realizing it's just a Bone Club. Is this Whiscash going to actually farm down? It actually is. Wow. That is insane. Out comes Meganium, but that Whiscash definitely has enough for a Blizzard. So you got to watch out. Going to shield. It's a nice bait on the opponent's end. Out comes Altaria. They both swap at the same time. Wow, I'm actually surprised that opponent swapped because knowing that the Azumarill was in the back, but maybe they wanted to lure out the Azumarill. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam. Altaria protects itself. Altaria is charging up for a Sky Attack. Going to go ahead and go for it. So that Sky Attack coming through. Still not enough. Another Ice Beam coming out. Will it be shielded? Does the opponent even have any shields? It does not go shielded. They do not have any shields. So out comes Whiscash. Out comes Meganium. And even if this is a Blizzard, it probably is. You could shield it. It is going to be a Blizzard. And out comes Azumarill. So Azumarill, yeah, the opponent's not in a good situation having Whiscash and Azumarill. on the team. I mean, I've faced teams like that. It's not a bad team, but like obviously against the grass type, it's not going to do too well. So Ice Beam coming out, going to connect, of course, and the opponent is going to leave that game. So that was a really well played game. So jumping into what I believe to be the last battle of this video. So it's going to be that Meganium versus Galarian Stunfisk. So Meganium does win this matchup. Even if it goes straight Frenzy Plant, because Frenzy Plant is neutral to Galarian Stunfisk, and it just does a lot of damage anyway, right? So you don't even have to go Earthquake. So we're going to go ahead and take the second Rock Slide. I could shield it, you don't have to. So now this Meganium does have 2 Frenzy Plants. Will we see a shield coming out from the opponent? We do not, since other Frenzy Plant will either knock out the Stunfisk or take the final shield. Or not the final shield, the first shield. But not going to shield at all. In comes Abomasnow, able to get to another Frenzy Plant. This is resisted, but I still do a decent amount. Abomasnow may be afraid it was an Earthquake and shield. Out comes Alolan Marowak. In comes Swampert. In comes a Zoomal. So we'll have to see if the Swampert is packing Sludge Wave. It might be going to shield. It is Sludge Wave coming out from that Swampert. Most Swampert, from what I've noticed in the Great League, do carry Sludge Wave. It's just like whether or not they actually go for it or they go for the Hydro Cannon bait. But another charge attack coming through. Going to be another Sludge Wave. This is Zoomal going to commit both shields and going for the Ice Beam at this point in time. This Ice Beam will not pick up the knockout, but in comes Abomasnow. Wow, this Abomasnow has energy, ready to go for that Energy Ball. Switching out into Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak strong against Abomasnow. And yeah, these attacks are not doing much. So this is definitely going to be a GG's, able to farm down and have a Shadow Ball. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye.